So, you've been lazy. But not just lazy. No. You've been extremely lazy. In fact, you are the very definition of what we like to call a lazy bum, which according to Google is someone who is lazy and avoids work or responsibility. That sounds a lot like you, doesn't it? And it's not that you're not trying, because you are, but you somehow keep falling back into it. But look, I get it, because that was me too up until quite recently when I started applying the Bible verse that I'm going to tell you about very soon. So, let's get into the video. Hi, my name is Jeremy and I've been struggling with laziness for a very long time now. And I've been trying really hard to stop it, but I just keep falling back into the cycle of being unproductive, being undisciplined, and not doing the work that God wants me to do. And as a Christian, it hits hard because laziness, it is a sin. And when you're trying to grow closer to God and trying to love Him more each and every day of our lives, being lazy is one of those things. It's like a wall in front of you, stopping you from achieving that. And so we want to get rid of laziness. When I started applying this Bible verse, which I'm about to tell you in a moment, it actually worked. It finally worked, and now I'm a lot more productive, I'm more disciplined, I'm working harder, and I'm a lot less lazy. So now you're wondering, what is this Bible verse? Drumroll please. Matthew chapter 5 verse 30. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell. Now, what we're going to do in this video is focus on that first part where basically if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. What does that mean? To put it simply, if there's something in your life that is causing you to sin, and in this case, causing us to be lazy, we should get rid of it completely and eliminate it. Get it out of our life, because sin is not good, and we would rather go into heaven with one hand than go into hell with two hands. So now what we're going to do is apply this verse in 2 steps, and I'm going to talk about my experience and how I did it with my own example. Our first step is to determine. We want to determine what is that thing that is causing us to sin. So what? And we have to ask ourselves, what am I usually doing instead of the thing that I should be doing? So that's number 1. We have to think about what. Next is where. Where are you when you are being lazy, when you're being productive, when you're being unproductive? And then the next part is when. We have to first determine what, where, and when is causing us to be lazy. Lazy. The thing that was distracting me from doing work was entertainment. It wasn't just watching YouTube videos for hours. It wasn't just scrolling on Instagram and watching Instagram Reels for hours or YouTube Shorts. It wasn't just watching Netflix movies or shows. It wasn't just watching anime. It wasn't just watching whatever other TV shows or dramas or whatever. It was all of it. When I found time to do those things, that's what I would be doing. And I think for this video and for a lot of you, the what is going to be the thing that's causing you to be lazy. So I'm going to be focusing on things that are more physical, like physical things like activities or stuff that is distracting us from doing work. Now, it's very important that we get clear on the what, because here's a mistake I made. Last time, YouTube, it was like the main thing that was distracting me and making me lazy. But there was also these other things like Netflix and Instagram or whatever, but those were not to the same extent. So when I applied the second step, which I'll tell you soon, it didn't work as well because I thought, okay, YouTube was the problem, so let's focus on that. But there was these other problems that I wasn't targeting, and that's why it didn't work. So it's very important that you get clear on the what and not just part of the what. Some other examples could include doom scrolling or playing video games. So to sum it up, step 1 is determine what, because we're not focusing on the where and when, we're focusing on the what. What is the thing that's causing you to be lazy? What are you doing instead of the thing that you should be doing? Now, step 2 is we're going to cut it off. Now, we're not literally going to cut off our hand. At first, you might think, okay, we're cutting off the hand that causes us to sin. So does that mean if YouTube is the thing that's causing me to sin, do I have to cut that off for the rest of my life? No, I mean that's just unrealistic. If you are literally addicted to that thing, maybe you do. Maybe you might have to get rid of it for the rest of your life. For most of us, it's probably just part of our life. So doing a detox or a fast should be enough. Now, a very important part in step number 2 is we have to be able to examine ourselves, because you're going to be the one that determines how long you're cutting off that thing that's making you lazy for. And it's also important to be able to determine to what extent do I have to go with this fast or detox. So for me, I knew that I wouldn't have to completely delete my social media apps or completely stop my Netflix subscription to stop being lazy and to start being more productive. I knew that I would be able to stay true to my detox if I told myself I'm not gonna do it for 2 weeks. That meant that I could still go on YouTube, not to watch entertainment or videos that I usually find entertaining, which that's also something you have to determine for yourself, but I could still go on it for educational videos. Or for example, I could go on Instagram to message someone. But say in your example, if messaging someone is your problem and that's the thing that's distracting you and making you procrastinate or stopping you from doing productive work, then you should probably that's the thing that you have to fast from, and you should probably tell that person if you're gonna do that, so you don't leave them hanging. In my case, what I did was I cut off the habit and the cycle of using entertainment. The way this works is once you're off it, then hopefully you should be able to have that cycle broken and start being more productive. And since you would be doing productive work during your fast instead of doing those unproductive things, then you should start bringing that into your life as a habit. And so that now has become your habit instead of, well, for me it was watching entertainment, and for you it will be your own thing. Now, some other things you could do is delete an app. So if, let's say, you're on Instagram scrolling for 3 hours and you're a chronic doom scroller and you do that before you sleep at night, maybe you could delete Instagram for that period of time. Or if video games is the problem, then ask your dad or mom to hide it somewhere or something. After step 1 and 2 is done, this is a very important thing, and this is what I did. I established with myself that, okay, once my detox is done, let's say 2 weeks, if I fall back into those things, then what I have to do and what I must do is intensify the detox. What does that look like? That means, let's say you went on a 2-week fast from Instagram and you deleted the app. Okay, after that 2 weeks is done, you've downloaded Instagram again. Now, if you fall back into that, then what you're going to do next time is you're going to intensify your fast. You're going to make it longer, because in this instance, it would make sense to make it longer. So maybe you could delete Instagram for a month. And then after a month, when you download Instagram again, if that's still a problem and you still get back into the habit of scrolling on Instagram, doom scrolling on Instagram for hours straight after you wake up, before you sleep, and doing that instead of doing productive work for God, then you're going to make it maybe 2 months, and then after that maybe 4 months, and then after that maybe 6, 12 months, a year, maybe 2 years. You probably don't want to go on a longer fast after that, because it was probably already hard enough as it was, which it gets easier over time to just not do that thing again. So that is very simple. So to summarize, determine what's the thing that's causing you to be lazy, cut that off, go on a fast, go on a detox to break that cycle of laziness and start getting in the habit of being more productive. And if that doesn't work the first time, intensify the second time. If it doesn't work the second time, intensify it even more the third time, and just keep going. And if eventually you just have to get rid of that thing for the rest of your life, then that's what you must do, because God takes priority over everything else. He takes priority over Instagram. He takes priority over your video games or whatever that thing is that's stopping you from doing work that He wants you to do. And we know this as Christians, to not follow the world, but to follow according to God, because the world doesn't fulfill us, God fulfills us. And if we're being productive for God, we're going to be more fulfilled and feel more fulfilled, because God's going to fulfill us and not that thing that was causing us to be lazy. So I hope this video was helpful and you enjoyed it. Like the video if it was helpful, subscribe. I just said helpful twice. Subscribe to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.